are in the toilet right now. And that's going to only lead to people not going to games eventually. And I hope they figure out a way to fix this before it's too late, because if it gets to that point, they might not be able to come back from this. You know, because it's you can tell that there's every year, every season, there's more of a disconnect, similar with Major League Baseball, with the fans. And it's only a matter of time until it affects them to the point where they're going to struggle to get back to where they were. It's going to be like the NBA of the 70s, where they were just completely disconnected from the fans, and they needed a spark to bring them back.
Yeah, that's really the only team that it applies to, though. I mean, it's the only one that's in the news as far as, last year Popovich didn't even bring Parker and Duncan and Ginobili on the plane to Miami.
Yeah.
He left them home.
He left them home. Well, he did that this season.
Yeah. I don't know how far you go with trying to legislate that out. You know what I mean? You got to give the team the right to protect its players if it wants to.
I think it's something that ownership needs to talk about, because I understand the coach, but it's listen, at least have them at the game. Honestly, if they were at the game and suited up, played 5 minutes, that's better than them not going at all. Maybe at halftime they sign autographs or something. Have them there. Once again, they are getting paid by the fans. If it wasn't for the fans, these guys would not be making money. So to not have them even at the game, I think, is a slap in the face of the fans. Have them there. Even if they're in plain clothes. Sign autographs, talk to people. I think it's an obligation. I believe it is an obligation of these professional athletes, because they're getting paid so much because of the fans, that they need to pay more attention to fan service.
Well, I'm not going to disagree with you.
Okay.
If I'm a fan shelling out $100 for tickets,
3 kids. So if he wasn't there, you would probably want to tear the place down.
Yeah, it would stink on ice. Now I've been to a couple basketball games, and this never really came on the radar. You know what I mean? It was not even an issue.
Yeah.
If you're paying that kind of money to watch these players, and those players aren't there, and you're forced to watch. I don't know. You're forced to watch the likes of Wesley Johnson and Nick Young. You know what I mean? And I'm using Lakers because that's the team that's on my brain because I'm a fan. So sue me, suck it up. I don't care. It's I don't know if it's a sign of what's wrong with the NBA, but it definitely leaves a sour taste in your mouth. You know, because you're going to be depending on the team again. It's the Spurs really. Nobody else is really doing this, so I don't want to make too much out of an isolated incident. But it is a dangerous precedent to set. Maybe I'll go there with you. Are you happy with that? I met you there.
I'm happy with that.
Okay. Just want to make sure. And
I know it's just the Spurs now, but right now the Spurs are the top of the heap. So you have the best team in the league.
The best
perennially.
The best oldest team in the league.
Oldest, yes, but still the best team. And like I said, I really think if they just did something simple like saying, come in plain clothes, but before the game and after the game, spend an hour signing autographs. I mean, how would that hurt the player? They'd still get full rest. They won't have to worry about playing. The fans will get to see the players. They won't get to see them play, but at least they'll be there showing their appreciation to the fans. I don't think that is asking too much.
You ask the world.
I know.
I'm such an idiot. The world. Let's take our second break, and when we come back, we're going to listen, or going to be joined by. We'll
listen to him.
Jim Sarantias, the fantasy Greek himself, stops by to talk football for an hour with us. You won't want to miss it. You're listening to 87 Sports Fans Live on Late Night Sports Radio.
Who the hell can wait till morning? Talk now at latenightsportsradio.com.
87 Sports Fans live on Late Night Sports Radio. It's 11 o'clock, kids, on a Monday night. It's time for the NFL Hour, and joining us, as always, is Mr. Jim Sarantias, the Fantasy Greek himself from thefantasygreek.com. Jim, welcome back to the program.
Guys, how's it going?
It's going, sir.
Excellent. You know, I just wanted to start off by lodging a complaint.
What's that?
My complaint is against the Panthers and Cam Newton, who, to this point, in the one league I need him to just get me 10 fantasy points, has 1 fantasy point for me. 1. Can't believe this.
No soup for you, my friend. No soup for you. If you want to call in at any time and join the conversation, the number is 585-633-7487. That's 585-633-7487. So, shall we talk about last week, boys? Shall we? Where should we start? I don't want to start where I want to start. So you guys pick a starting point.
Wow.
How about the 6-3 Cleveland Browns demolishing Cincinnati in Cincinnati?
What do we know about the Bengals, honestly? Because
they got a lot of talent, and it's just sometimes they show up and sometimes they don't.
Well, they haven't been showing up for several weeks now, it seems.
Yeah.
I think this was a Browns team that showed up to play football because Cincinnati couldn't get their rushing game going nor their passing. Or get they couldn't get their rushing game going nor their passing game going.
Right.
I mean, it was sort of a cluster all the way across the board.
I mean, how do you throw the ball 33 times for only 86 yards and 3 picks? How is that even possible for a professional quarterback in this league? Now, I know Cleveland's defense is really good, but I'm just blown away by those numbers.
It's
absolutely blown away. And that was Andy Dalton, for those of you that don't know. He was 10 for 33, 86 yards, 3 interceptions, and no touchdowns. I mean, that is horrendous.
It's one of those things where you try to put your finger on what's working and what's not working, and it was an absolute collapse by the Cincinnati Bengals. From Andy Dalton and his ridiculous stats to Jeremy Hill only getting 12 carries for 55 yards, but because they were trailing for most of the game, so that dictates, I guess, the play calling if you want. But you're looking at this, and the Cleveland Browns ran 52 times for 170 yards. Okay, Brian Hoyer did not get sacked once the entire game. They held the Bengals to 165 total yards. They only turned the ball over once on a fumble, compared to the Bengals' 4 turnovers, and they held the ball for 35 minutes. I mean, they ran 12 more plays. This was just a steamrolling by the Browns. And how many weeks do the Browns have to surprise us before we start admitting that the Browns are not a bad team?
Yeah, and honestly, for a lot of teams coming up, the second half of the season is brutal. But Cleveland,